Hi, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. College football bowl season and Week 16 Saturday football for the NFL up on this episode for today. So we'll go through the college football games that are for the 23rd. There's a handful of those plus a couple of NFL games. We'll get started on the college side here and get you rolling. Multiple games we've got going on the college side. So Duke, Troy, 7-point favorite in this bowl game here, 44.5 total. Duke obviously down their quarterback, Riley Leonard going to Notre Dame. We are on the under on this particular matchup here. So pretty simple, nothing too crazy in this game. Just Troy and Duke under 9.5 first quarter, under 22.5 first half, and under 44.5 for the game. Duke's offense struggles. Troy's offense is not what I would call fantastic either, and Troy's defense is really good. So it makes it a pretty simple underplay if you ask me, but we will take the under in this game, under 9.5 first quarter, under 22.5 first half, and under 44.5 for the game. Next game up, Northern Illinois, Arkansas State. I'll be honest with you, this game here has just got me perplexed. Like, how is Arkansas State favored? But every time Northern Illinois has been a favorite, they outright lose. So we're going to stay away from this game. Like I said, Arkansas State 2.5-point favorite, 54.5 total. We're just going to stay off this game for now. If there's some big line movement or something like that, we might hop back in, but not currently where it sits. Next game up, Air Force and James Madison. James Madison, a 1.5-point favorite, 40.5 total. Congrats to James Madison for making it to a bowl game. I know they were hoping to get a New Year's Day bowl, stay undefeated. That kind of went away, but they weren't bowl eligible for a couple years. But since there's not enough six-win teams for bowl games, James Madison got in, just like Jacksonville State did the other few days ago, or last Saturday, when they got that crazy win that they got. But James Madison should be up for this game. So is Air Force, though. This is going to be tightly contested both ways. Don't expect maybe a ton of scoring in this game. 21-20 could be the final in this, and it wouldn't shock me at all. We are going to stay away from this game. Really love Air Force. I like both of these teams, and we played quite a bit of most of the college football season, but we are going to stay away from this game. I think they both present matchup problems for the other team, which is probably going to make that game about dead heat even. It could boil down to overtime, but we'll stay away from that one. We are on the next game, though, Utah State, Georgia State. Utah State, 1.5-point favorite, 59.5 total. I can't believe this line hasn't moved, as both of these... I'm going to go let me apologize here really quick. So we're going to go back to the James Madison Air Force game. I guess we did play something. I missed it. James Madison money line. It's pretty simple here. Money line first quarter, money line first half, and money line for the game. So James Madison against Air Force, money line first quarter, money line first half, and money line for the game. Getting back to that Utah State, Georgia State, these guys can run the score up in a hurry. I can't believe the line's at 59.5. I thought it would be mid-60s, but expect this game to be played in the 30s on both sides. So we are going to take Utah State, Georgia State over 13.5 first quarter, over 28.5 first half. In fact, that's one of our best bets for the 23rd of December for college football. Of that first half over, and then over 59.5 for the game. So one more time, Utah State, Georgia State, over 13.5 first quarter, over 28.5 first half, and over 59.5 for the game on that particular matchup there. Let's see, next game up, we also like this game quite a bit. Eastern Michigan, Southern Alabama, South Alabama, 16.5, 17-point favorite, depending on what book you're at, 45 total. Has anybody seen Eastern Michigan play? If you have, you would be running to the window for these tickets like we did. They did not show anything that they could do anything against anybody. South Alabama, though, has been putting up points like it's going out of style. So South Alabama, the total's 45 here, and I honestly believe they think that, like, 30 to, what are they thinking here, 31-14? And I think South Alabama is going to put up more than 31, and Eastern Michigan struggled to score 14 in a lot of games. So on this particular matchup here. So we will take South Alabama minus 3.5 first quarter, minus 8.5 first half, minus 16.5 for the game. One more time, South Alabama minus 3.5 first quarter, minus 8.5 first half, and minus 16.5 for the game. There's two more games on the slate. We've got one. Utah Northwestern. Utah 6.5 point favorite. Their quarterback, though, he's also transfer portal. It's a shame that they can't figure this out, like putting like they do in the injury report for the NFL or the NBA. They can't put kids at questionable, portal, out, stuff sitting out. They won't do that for college football. It's like they want to make it the biggest Tom, Dick, and Harry thing out there. But Utah Northwestern, gut says Utah, and Utah probably big. But we're going to stay away from that particular game. Like I said, they're a 6.5 point favorite, 41.5 total. It's probably not going to be, like a 20. I could see that game being 27-10 without a question on that one. But we're going to stay away from that game. We are on the late game, though. San Jose State, Coastal Carolina. Most of you probably haven't followed too much San Jose State game, as they're normally on at about 11 o'clock Eastern time. A little bit later on, and too late to stay up after you've watched football for 12 hours. San Jose State, 9.5 point favorite. Coastal Carolina, not quite. I mean, they got extremely fortunate, I think, to make a bowl game. They've been Jekyll and Hyde all season long. Total of 49. We love San Jose State here. They have been a force, especially late in the season, and we expect them to do the same here. So San Jose State, minus 2.5 first quarter, minus 6.5 first half, minus 9.5 for the game. One more time on that one, San Jose State, minus 2.5 first quarter, minus 6.5 first half, and minus 9.5 for the game. Now we'll get into the NFL Saturday schedule. Two games on the lineup here for the NFL on Saturday. Bengals at the Steelers. This line has moved about 1.5 since earlier in the week. So we've got the Bengals currently a 3-point favorite, 38 total. So I was not, for 3 weeks, I've basically been betting against Browning. But he's proven that screen game that they have working and the long pass to Higgins has been more than effective, and they'll throw in the occasional runs with Mixon and Edmonds. And they seem to be getting the job done and getting the job done well. The one thing that also helps is that Bengals defense is definitely shored up over what it was earlier in the season. At the start of the season, they were bend, don't break defense. Geno Smith threw for like almost 350 on them. Didn't allow a lot of points, but they threw the ball all over the place. But they have tightened that thing up dramatically here late in the season as they make a playoff push. It would not shock me if they make the playoffs. And I'm betting against myself here because we do have a Steelers over win ticket, but Mason Rudolph is not the answer. Either is Mitch Trubisky. It's a shame Pickett's going to miss another game. It's not that the offense is so much better, but it's at least halfway competent when Pickett's in there. I don't think Mason Rudolph's going to do anything here. That's the biggest part that we're taking the Bengals here, is more of the fate of Mason Rudolph than anything else. So like I said, we do have the Bengals minus a half first quarter, minus 1.5, which is heavily, you got some good plus money there, like plus 145. Minus 1.5 first half, minus 1.5 for the game is where we did get it, like on, I want to say Tuesday, Wednesday. Bengals over 9.5 team total first half and over 18.5 team total for the game. Jake Browning over 232.5 passing yards. I think he's thrown for like 270 plus every time he's played. So seems still low. I understand it's the Steelers defense, but the Steelers defense is not the Steelers defense of old, where it was, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. They give up running yards. They give up screen yards. If they don't sack the quarterback, that the secondary besides Joey Porter Jr. is definitely a struggle. So we're going to take Mason Rudolph for an interception as well. T. Higgins over 24.5 yards, longest reception. He has been the downfield threat for Browning. When he goes deep, it's to T. Higgins and not anybody else. So we like T. It's a one-time play, right? All he's got to do is get 25 yards, and that one's cashes on that one there. Jake Browning, over 21.5 completions and over 31.5 attempts. Chase Brown over 15.5 receiving yards. I know this has went up to like 16.5 and 17.5 in some books. I know he's not the starting back, but in the screen game, he looks 90 times better than Joe Mixon does. His speed is electric in the screen game when they throw him, and they like to screen. I mean, they've won 3 games with throwing basically nothing but screens and a couple shots down the field. So we love Chase Brown in that one there. We also got Chase Brown over 2.5 receptions at plus money. All we need is three catches for 35 yards. Sounds like a good day for Chase, and we cash a lot of tickets. Evan McPherson over 1.5 field goals. The only area that Browning might struggle in is in the red zone. Between the 20s, he's great, and then you get into the red zone, it's a little bit different story. So we do like McPherson to kick a couple field goals in that one as well. And we do like Trey Hendrickson to get a sack in that particular game, over 3/4 of a sack, so record 1 sack full. In that game against the Steelers, the offensive line is poor. Mason Rudolph holds on the ball. Don't see a lot of offensive production coming from the Steelers, and see them getting behind, which they have a great tendency to do, which is going to lead to Bengals pinning their ears back. And Hendrickson, I believe, he's around 14 sacks. Definitely one of the top guys in the league. So to get him against that offensive line at like minus 106 to get a sack, it feels like it's almost stealing. So we'll run through these Bengals and Steelers bets one more time for you. Bengals minus 0.5 first quarter, minus 1.5 first half, and minus 1.5 for the game. Bengals over the 9.5 team total first half and over 18.5 team total for the game. Browning over 232.5 pass yards, over 21.5 completions, and over 31.5 pass attempts. Mason Rudolph to throw a pick. T. Higgins over 24.5 yards, longest reception. Chase Brown over 2.5 receptions at plus money as well, and over 15.5 receiving yards. McPherson over 1.5 field goals, and Hendrickson over 3/4 of a sack. Next game up, Chargers-Bills. Chargers are getting 12.5 at home, 44 total, so they're not. I understand the Chargers suck with Easton Stick, right? Like, Easton Stick is not Justin Herbert. We all understand that. But do we really think the Bills, after playing the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Cowboys, they're going to be able to go, all the way to the West Coast in LA and get up for another game and cover by 12.5? Do we really think that? I mean, first of all, running against the Chargers defense, at the start of the season, they were great against the run, bad against the pass. Now they've kind of softened up against the run here as of late, but you're going to give me 12.5 points at home on a team that's had, situationally wise, has had like 3-4 big games in a row, and they're going to have some sort of a flat spot, and that's what we kind of expect here from the Bills. I can't believe all the people running to the Bills to lay these minus 12.5 tickets, but good for the casino, good for the sports books, I guess, on that one. So we will take the Chargers plus 2.5 first quarter, plus 6.5 first half, plus 12.5 for the game. Easton Stick over 0.5 passing touchdown, so we need 1 passing TD out of him. Easton Stick over 199.5 pass yards. Chargers over the 6.5 team total first half, over 16.5 team total for the game. Bills under 13.5 team total first half and under 28.5 for the game. And since I think the Bills will have to throw the ball more than 15 times in this game, Josh Allen interception at plus money. I about fell out of my chair when that bet came available. But Josh Allen interception, Easton Stick over 31.5 passing attempts. Dalton Kincaid, though, over 2.5 receptions because it's at 2.5. So 3 catches, and we need over 28.5 receiving yards. So 3 catches for 29 yards. Sounds like a Dalton Kincaid day, so we're going to take both of those. Quentin Johnson for the Chargers over 28.5 receiving yards. It doesn't look like Keenan Allen's going to play. I know Josh Palmer got a lot of looks last week, but expect Quentin Johnson to see more than a few targets this week. And then also James Cook under 71.5 rushing yards. That was at FanDuel. I know like a lot of places had it in the high 60s, but they were at 71.5. We want to go under here. I just don't think they're going to run the ball as much as they did last week. He's had a couple huge games in a row. And like I said, the rushing defense for the Cowboys, not so good. A little bit better on the Chargers side. So one more time in this Chargers-Bills Saturday matchup. Chargers plus 2.5 first quarter, plus 6.5 first half, plus 12.5 for the game. Easton Stick over a half a passing touchdown. Stick over 199.5 passing yards. Chargers over 6.5 team total first half. So one touchdown gets you home. Over 16.5 team total for the game. Excuse me there. Bills under 13.5 team total first half. Under 28.5 team total for the game. Like I said, I just think they're going to be flat this game. Like I expect like 24-14. 24-17. Somewhere in that range is kind of expected. I mean, I think the Bills probably win, but I definitely don't think they're winning 2 touchdowns. Josh Allen to throw an interception. Stick over 31.5 passing attempts. Kincaid over 2.5 catches and over 28.5 receiving yards. James Cook under 71.5 rushing yards, and Quentin Johnson over 28.5 receiving yards. So that'll wrap up Saturday action, college football and NFL for us on all the bets we have. At the end of every episode we do, there is a link in the comments section to our Google Sheet, which is our ledger of all of our bets, what juice we got those at, how many units, what book we placed them at as well. So make sure you do check that out. You can see all of football season. You can see football last year if you just wanted to look at results. Baseball this last season. If you're into basketball, there's a ton of basketball action going on. So make sure you do check that out when you get some time on that one there. So like I said, there's lots of different things to look at bet-wise if you're just into more than football as well. And then also make sure you subscribe and get notifications to the YouTube channel. So when we drop our bets, you get those first. Makes life really simple when you subscribe and then turn those notifications on. You'll get every time we drop an episode, you'll get notified to your device or your phone. It'll let you know we have. You can link in, and then all of a sudden you can match them up with your bets and give you that ton of confidence you need heading to the betting app or betting window. I do appreciate everybody's support as always, and look forward to seeing you on the next episode.